So you clicked on this video wondering how to combo on Jartex, how to send people flying like me in Skywars, or how to hold a combo like me in practice. Well, I got 4 things that if you master, then you'll be comboing like me in no time. Alright, so welcome to my little training dojo thing I got here. So pretty much, I am basically going to be showing you these 4 things. So strafing, W tapping, block hitting, and S tapping. Okay. So to start off, the reason why I'm in a creative world is just because it's easier to show you on something like a mob at first, and then I'll throw gameplay up on the screen of me doing it, slow-mo, all that good stuff. Right, but before I get started, one thing I want to mention is in regular Minecraft, the reach is about 3 blocks, right? But in creative mode, you get 4 blocks of reach. So it's going to look a little bit different, and these zombies are making so much noise. I'm going to have to kill these things. Hold up. Alright, now we're back. But yeah, like I was saying, 4 blocks in regular creative mode, and 3 blocks in multiplayer Minecraft. So when I do hit some mobs, it's going to look a little bit farther than normal, but just to explain why it looks a little bit farther than normal. So to start off with strafing, strafing is pretty simple, and it's the easiest way to get a combo in Minecraft. Most players on Jartex, they like to run forwards after their opponent and just keep running forwards. Now, there's a few reasons why this isn't good. One reason is you're not using any movement. You're not throwing off the person's aim. It's easiest to hit somebody who's running straight at you because they're just going one singular direction. They're not going left and right. They're not, like, even just moving a little bit like this will do wonders. But since they're just running straight like this, like, if I'm trying to hit that person, it's going to be super easy to hit them. And what you're going to do is if you're both running straight at each other, what's going to end up happening is you're going to trade hits, right? Or if you're at a very high ping, which a lot of Jartex players have very, very high ping, like 200 ms, you're going to hit each other, and you're going to go through each other's body. And then you're going to take knockback because you're at like 200 ping. Now, the reason why this is a little bit scary is because you would have to do a complete 360 to go and attack that person again, because you walked straight through them. This is why strafing is important and why strafing will help you. Because say, for example, if I put an Enderman right here, say, for example, this is my player, right? And I'm running at them, and I want to strafe them, right? If I'm running straight at them... Oh. Okay, I should use the sword. If I'm running straight at them, you can see that pretty much what ends up happening is, you know, they're looking at me, I'm looking at them, I'm running straight, and nothing else happens. But say, for example, I place this Enderman right back here. Now, strafing is when you move left or right or both in a fight. So say, for example, if I want to circle strafe. Now, what circle strafing is when you go around your opponent completely in a circle, either going to the right or going to the left. That is a circle strafe. Or you could do AD tapping, as people call it, or left-right strafe. And I'll show you exactly what that looks like. So left-right is doing this. Right, so I'm going left and I'm going right around my opponent. I'll place another endman right here. So you can see, like I'm single tapping right now, but you get the point. I'm going left-right. I think a zombie would be better because Enderman keeps teleporting. Yeah, you can see left and right all the time. Let me kill these guys so they don't make a bunch of noise. Now, I know this arena is kind of small, and in hindsight, I probably should have made it a little bit bigger, but you get the point, right? You want to be moving left and right, or you want to be moving around in a circle. And when you enter a fight, you don't want to be going exactly straight at them. Like, go in at an angle a little bit, you know, because that'll help to throw off their aim, because it's easier to hit somebody, like I said, who's going straight than somebody who's moving like this, or moving like this back and forth. Because if somebody's moving like this, right, you don't know exactly what direction they're going to try to hit you from. They could be strafing right and can quickly go left, and that can throw off the person's aim, because they'll be, like, trying to hit the person who's coming at them. They're going to think you're going to go this way, and so you start hitting them this way, and then they go this way, right, and then they get a combo on you, right? So, strafing is probably the most important component of PvP in Minecraft, because all these other things help you if you know how to strafe. So quickly, before I get into W tapping, I'll just show some clips of me strafing. Now, I'm also strafing while W tapping in most clips, which I'll get into when I talk about W tapping, but I'll just put some clips on screen of just moving around players and stuff, and I'll put them in slow motion so you can really see how I'm moving and how I'm aiming.
Mama know who Cub Scout is.
So next up here, we have a W tapping. Now, W tapping is a little bit more of an advanced thing that a lot of Jartex players don't know how to do. You know, a lot of Jartex players are wondering, how did I go flying, or why aren't I moving? And that's because they aren't W tapping. Now, the rule of thumb in Minecraft is the first hit always does the most knockback. For example, I'm going to go place a zombie right here. Right? As you can see, the more and more I hit the zombie, the more and more it gets closer to me. But watch what happens if I do this. See, I'm tapping W in between each hit, and I just sent the zombie flying. Alright, anyways, so, simplest term, W tapping is basically you get a hit, you let go of W, and you press W again. Now, this is a little bit harder to get down than you think it is. Think, oh, I'm just gonna, do this. But in reality, you don't want to spam W. Don't spam it, okay? Because look at my movement. Look at how I'm moving. See how slow I'm moving? This is going to end up hindering you. Because, yeah, you're resetting your sprint. But what ends up happening is you're basically just completely stopping your movement. Right? So if I'm trying to hit a zombie, and I'm just doing this, you can see how long it takes me to get back to where the zombie is. But if I'm doing something like W tapping regularly, you can see how close I'm to the zombie because I'm actually able to keep my momentum. Because it's easier to do this. See, look at my momentum doing this compared to my momentum doing this. Now, there's many different ways to W tap. I'll put my little dummy right here to show you. So, again, with strafing, right, like I talked about, you want to strafe left or right or circle strafe, but you can add W taps into that, right? So you can see I'm going around this, but I'm also W tapping, right? Go around the left side, W tapping. Go around both sides, W tapping, right? So, W tapping is used just in general in Minecraft PvP. For me, I'm so used to doing it that it just is second nature to me. I always W tap. Always. And whenever I'm PvPing, it doesn't matter what I'm doing, I'm always W tapping, right? Even when block hitting, or even when just regularly PvPing, regularly strafing, always W tapping. Right? And this is something you make sure you want to always do. And the best way to practice W tapping, in my personal opinion, is to just do practice PvP. Because W tapping against real players is different from W tapping against mobs. You see, when I was W tapping against a mob, I kind of sent it to the wall very easily because the knockback in creative mode and the reach in creative mode is a little bit different. But, again, I'll show clips, of me W tapping, right? W tapping and strafing, W tapping, straight lines, all that sort of stuff after the explanation. But, pretty much, W tapping is the most important skill you will learn after strafing. If you could strafe and W tap, you will win the majority of your fights on Jartex Network. Just because the majority of players cannot W tap and strafe, pretty much W tapping, if you are to learn this, it will be vital. Like, in my opinion, this is the most important thing after strafing for winning a fight, because it's essential for getting combos, and essential for keeping people at bay, essential for knocking people off the map. So overall, this is really important to learn. Now, one thing I wanted to add for timing for W taps is the best way to time it is as soon as the player turns red after a hit, you let go of W and press W again. Right? So the player turns red, right? So I'm attacking him, player turns red, I'm going to let go of W, press W again, right? So you can see I'm moving around like this, right? Because this is usually how it goes, right? I'm moving around, and I'm just basically like, oh, okay. Let go of W, press W. Let go of W, press W. Now, the timing, again, will take practice and stuff, so hop into Jartex, practice PvP, and hop into particularly Gapple. Gapple is the best kit to do it on, because you don't really have to worry about so much, right? You just eat golden apples, and you're fine, don't have to worry about any utility or anything like that. So, hop into Gapple and just practice W tapping, whether it's going left or right while W tapping, or whether it's going straight lines, just practice W tapping. So I'm going to put some clips now of me W tapping and strafing left and right, all that sort of stuff. And I'll slow it down as well so you can look at my keystrokes that are in the top right corner and is how my character is moving and all that. So the next thing is block hitting. Now, block hitting kind of acts in the same way as W tapping. It, in a way, does the same thing, but it's also not as effective. Now, let me explain. So, block hitting, a lot of players don't really know how to block hit correctly. If you're in a 1x1 hole, you want to spam block hit, which is just like left and right click as fast as you can, both of them at the same time. But when you're PvPing, right? Like I say, momentum is everything. You want to be able to keep moving. Like I talked about for W taps, if you spam it, you see how you're not moving anywhere. Same thing for block hitting. If I spam it, you see I'm not moving very much, right? And what's going to end up happening is I'm hindering my movement, which means it doesn't matter how much I'm block hitting, the other person's just going to get a combo. That's why you want to time it. Now, timing it depends on how far the player is. So say, for example, if a player is like a certain amount of distance, I'm not going to block hit too early, right? Like, I'm not going to hit the player that's over here if I'm block hitting, but I'm going to wait till I'm here to hit a block hit, right? And block hitting and W taps are both follow the same concept where you need to have timing, right? So you can see I'm block hitting, like, say, for example, if there is somebody in front of me, right? I'm block hitting. Now, block hitting does the same thing as W tapping in a way. Like, you can just block hit and keep the player at bay because it does reset your sprint. It does allow you to keep getting combos, but it's best to add W taps and block hits, right? W taps and block hits is what I do most of the time, because it allows me to just send the opponent flying really far. Now, you can just regularly block it, and that's a good way to keep a lock on somebody, to basically combo lock them, which means to basically get multiple hits and, like, they can't exit a combo, especially on Jartex, because if you kind of W tap and block it on Jartex, especially Jartex practice, you're going to send the player flying way out of your 3-block reach. So, sometimes I'll just block it because it keeps the player in the 3-block reach, but they can't hit me because they're, like, 3 blocks away and I'm just hitting them, like, basically a regular straight line combo. But you can also block it while going left and right. Right, same with strafing. And you can also add it with W taps. Right, so block hitting very much is like W tapping where it's timing. But, it's kind of a difficult thing to get down for a lot of players, because a lot of players like to spam it, or they're tapping it too early. Now, sometimes I mess up block hits where I block it a little bit too early before I'm in the range of the player, right? And for me, I'm tap block hitting, so it's not that bad, but some players will just block it like this, right? They're just running around like this, or like they're not exactly spamming it, but they're like trying to time it, but they keep tapping it too quickly, right? They're like running around kind of like this, they're tapping it a little bit too quickly, and it causes them to just take more knockback, because again, they're not moving. This game is very momentum based. You want to keep moving forwards. Right? The reason why we have W tapping, right? Keeps momentum, but also resets your sprint, which allows you to do more knockback to the player, because the first hit in Minecraft always does the most knockback. So again, I'll put some clips of the block hitting, I'll slow it down. You can really see the timing. You can see all of that. So please enjoy that. Also, remember to watch how I'm strafing and W tapping with it as well. So the next thing is S-tapping. Now this I don't really use very much on Jartex, mainly because the knockback doesn't allow for you to really keep good combos S-tapping. You know, S-tapping, you can do it two ways. Some people like to hold W and then hold S like this, because if you do that, your character doesn't move. You can see that I'm not moving anywhere, right? So you kind of tap this, and it works the same way as a W tap, right? So, like, but except instead of letting go of W and tapping W again, I'm holding W and just tapping S, because, like I said, it stops your movement completely, and that's kind of what a W tap does in a way, but you can kind of keep it at this, like, you can kind of keep people at that 3-block range by doing this. Now, there's a second way to S-tap, and that's basically what I do, where I hold W, right, but then I let go of W and tap S, and then do the same thing. Now, the reason why I started doing this instead of this one is because basically, I was already used to W tapping, so it's like, it's kind of easier for me to time it and do it this way, but I can do it both ways. Now, I don't think I have any clips of me S-tapping, so I'm not going to put any clips up, mainly because I don't really like to S-tap. It's not my thing, personally, and, like, it doesn't really help you too much on Jartex. Sure, it can get you, like, good combos and stuff every now and then, but again, you're going to hit the player too far away, I find, with S-taps, so you're going to have to reset the fight anyways. But, you know, there are a bunch of people who can show you how to S-tap online if you really want to see it. But personally, really focus on these 3 things, and this 4th thing is just kind of a thing. If you want to learn, you know, it's optional, because I don't really feel like on Jartex it's really that important. Anyways, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Hopefully it taught you something about how I PvP and how to combo on this server, right? The next video will be about how to use things like the fishing rod, like snowballs and eggs as well, those type of things. And the 3rd video will be about aiming, and the 4th PvP tips video will be about, like, miscellaneous things, like blocks, for example. So, yeah, make sure to stay tuned for those. Setup tour will be the next video after this, so you can see exactly what my whole setup looks like. And we're also on the road to 1,000 subscribers. At 1,000 subscribers, I'll be giving away a premium Minecraft account. That is completely permanent, so you keep it forever. Yeah, if you all enjoyed, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye, and have a great day.